So we've talked a lot about what the expectations were, right, going into this partnership. And I think whenever we invest in a company, we really want to accelerate their growth through Fifth Wall's strategic LP relationships. Vic, how did you think about doing that here?
Brendan, as you know, our LP base consists of more than 70 global real estate firms. So we knew that there was a tremendous potential for SmartRent to positively impact a large number of portfolio units represented by our limited partners. We quickly got to work, beginning with the Toll RFP process, which was an RFP process we ran on behalf of Toll Brothers, one of the leading US home builders. We quickly realized that for their multifamily business, SmartRent was an absolute no-brainer solution. Following that process, we kicked off the conversation with about 9 other firms, of which multiple are in early conversations, several are in pilots, and 3 others have been signed as contracts.
And so you obviously had some expectations going into this partnership as well. What has it been like from your side?
Yeah, we had incredibly high expectations. We thought a lot was riding on this Fifth Wall relationship, and we've been pleasantly surprised by surpassing those expectations even. And I think another important point is that really with Fifth Wall's guidance, we've pivoted into other categories of real estate, including working with the home builders, which wasn't really on our radar before Fifth Wall got involved.
So, we obviously have a big vested interest in making sure that SmartRent wins. I guess, what was the signal you were looking to send to the real estate industry?
Yeah, we wanted to send the undeniable message that this is the company to pick. And if you don't, you're going to get questions why you didn't. And we had a great track record. We had great names on the board, but we didn't feel like we had that final sort of capstone marquee partner to just say, stamp of approval, this is it. And we've seen that now. Anytime we're not in an RFP process, people are now questioning it, and we get put right into the RFP process.
So we've talked about how Fifth Wall kind of has helped shepherd SmartRent into some of the largest multifamily real estate owners in the US. What has that process been like from your side?
Having a partner like Fifth Wall is not a sales channel for these CEOs. It's a trusted and respected consultant. They understand tech, they understand the markets, they understand real estate. So to have Fifth Wall inbound saying, hey, we really think you should look at this company, it's a marketing you can't buy.
If you look at the more than 9 conversations that we facilitated and how many units that represents in the hundreds of thousands of total units, I think we're quickly going to see additional adoption by many of those corporate real estate partners of the SmartRent product, which will only further evangelize the company.
One of the dynamics that tends to play out in real estate tech over and over again is a number of solutions on the technology side emerge. But what tends to happen is really momentum tends to aggregate around one company relatively early on, usually like 2-3 years into a cycle. And I think you started to see that at SmartRent, I guess, a few years ago, right? How has that played out for you?
Yeah, we did start to see that, and going after the marquee names in multifamily and really the thought leaders in multifamily has accelerated that for us.
So let's talk about expansion, right? What does that mean to you, and how can Fifth Wall help?
Yeah, when we think about expansion and breaking it down, there's a couple different categories. And to me, it's amazing how big this gets and how we think about it. But first and foremost is continuing to just expand within our multifamily vertical. But we've also opened up, we're in single family rentals, we're in student housing, we're in senior housing, vacation rentals. So you just go along the continuum of rental housing, we can grow that way. But what's really exciting, that's sort of the obvious growth path. There's other ways we can grow. And I think where Fifth Wall is uniquely positioned to help us was around global penetration. And what we've discovered is that the platform that we've built is not a domestic platform. We didn't solve a domestic problem, we solved a worldwide problem. And there's no other company out there that can help us access the global real estate market.
The other big one is in product expansion. So the ability to have a full end-to-end experience delivered for the underlying consumer tenant on a single app is very powerful. People don't want 9 different apps to control their home life. They want one. People have been forced to use unbundled solutions because the historical bundled solutions have been really terrible. But when you think about ancillary product adjacencies, in a perfect world, all of that can be run through the SmartRent ecosystem, and you have one platform that controls the entire tenant's life end to end.
So obviously, we are continuing to expand this relationship by virtue of FWAA, right? Our SPAC and our sponsorship. What are you looking to achieve in the future, right, with Fifth Wall's sponsorship?
When you're raising capital, there's lots of great SPAC sponsors out there, but none of them bring the global real estate reach that Fifth Wall does. Fifth Wall is uniquely positioned to not only provide the capital needed through the transaction, but also to fulfill on that demand globally.